Let's discuss three other tabs, the dynamic tabs, which you may need when submitting a leave of absence request. These tabs are considered dynamic because they will only appear based on the type of leave that is selected. The sabbatical tab will be available if a sabbatical leave type is selected. The pay period for AY Academics tab will appear if the employee is an academic year academic. And the Workers' Compensation tab will appear if a workers' compensation leave has been selected. Here we have a professor who has previously been out on a sabbatical and had an FML-covered leave for a serious health condition. Let's say they're going to take another sabbatical. Let's first talk about the sabbatical tab and the pay period for AY Academics tab, which are both used when putting an employee on sabbatical. For more information on sabbaticals, please reference the full sabbatical and partial sabbatical job aids, which are available on the Transactional User Training page on our Berkeley UCPath website. These are listed under Absence Management in the Job Aids section. If the employee is going on a full sabbatical in the fall, this job aid outlines what should be entered into each field. The start date, expected return date, and actual return dates are based on the academic schedule. We can click the link to see when the semester dates are for the fall 2022 semester. The date the academic semester begins is the start date, and the expected return date and actual return dates are one day after the end of the semester. Fall semester starts on August 17th and ends on December 16th. So the start date is August 17th. And the expected return date and actual return dates are December 17th. For a full sabbatical, the leave field should be sabbatical with full pay. In the paid and unpaid field, always select paid block. The last date worked is going to be one day prior to the sabbatical start date. One day before August 17th is August 16th. If a sabbatical leave type is selected, the sabbatical tab appears. This is where sabbatical credits being used are entered. For a one semester full sabbatical, it will be 9 credits. If the sabbatical were for 2 semesters, it would be 18 credits. For the sabbatical percent field, for a full sabbatical, you can leave these blank and the system will assume 100% full pay. If the sabbatical was for a partial sabbatical, sabbatical with part pay would have been selected as the leave type. Then, here in the sabbatical tab, the pay split is entered. So if it is a 2/3 paid sabbatical, they will use 6 credits for one semester, and the sabbatical percent will be 67%. Keep in mind that the percent field must be entered as a positive whole number with no decimal and add up to 100%. Only specific splits are allowed by UCOP when it comes to partial sabbaticals. The sabbatical leave supplement percent should be entered if a different fund source is being used to fund all or part of the balance. The pay won't come out of the chart string associated with their position number, so it is important to update position funding. The percent of the leave that is without pay should be entered in the Leave No Pay percent field. Let's delete these though and return the sabbatical credits to 9 because this employee is going on a full sabbatical for one semester. Just a reminder, because sabbatical pay is entered on the sabbatical tab, JED Additional Earnings Code tab should never be used for sabbaticals. The UCPath Center WFA production team will update the employee's JED with the appropriate earn codes and percent distribution based on the sabbatical leave percent fields in the absence request. The second dynamic tab we'll discuss is the pay period dates for AY Academics tab. This tab will appear if an academic year academic employee is selected. The AY Academics are academic employees such as professors who are paid on an academic year schedule. They work 9 months, August through May, but their paychecks come from July 1st through June 30th. When you enter their leave in the main tab, the Extended Absence Details tab, you enter the dates for the leave for a sabbatical as the semester dates. The pay period dates need to align with the fiscal year, so therefore the pay period dates for the AY Academic tab, different dates need to be entered. The dates on the pay period dates for AY Academics tab control the pay for academic year academics. The pay period begin date is the AY pay period begin date. This date becomes the effective date of the leave in job data. The pay period end date is the AY pay period end date. This date becomes the expected return date of the leave in job data. The pay period return date is the AY pay period date that the employee returns to work. This date becomes the effective date of the return from leave in job data. In referencing the job aid, what is great about these dates is that they will stay the same, only the years change. So for this example of a full sabbatical for the fall 2022 semester, the pay period dates for AY academics would be 7/1/2022, pay period begin date, 12/31/22, pay period end date, and 1/1/2023, pay period return date. To complete this leave entry, enter the job override if needed. Enter a note on the sabbatical leave entry. There is a template for the notes that can be used in the sabbatical job aids. Save to add any attachments. Then the transaction can be submitted. Once the transaction is approved locally and by the WFA production team at the UC Path Center, the sabbatical credits will be automatically adjusted in the system based on the dates in the pay period for AY Academics tab. This change is viewable on the Review Absence Balance page. As of April 2022, no automatic transactions populate in the Manage Accrual module to indicate that the change has been processed. Sabbatical credits will be deducted in the payroll processing period associated with the pay period begin date on the Pay Period Dates for AY Academics tab. For more information on processing sabbaticals, please do reference the job aids for full and partial sabbaticals, which are available on the Berkeley UC Path training page. The last dynamic tab is the Workers' Compensation tab. This tab will appear only if the workers' compensation leave type is selected. Workers' compensation could be an FML covered leave, so this warning message will appear to select a leave in the FMLA CFRA PDLL leave field if appropriate. On the Workers' Compensation tab, specific fields are available to identify pay percentages. For JED Additional Earnings Codes tab to denote a partial leave that consists of partial reg pay. For partial workers' comp leaves, the workers' comp team will enter the appropriate JED distribution for the percent of the leave the employee is working. Reg for regular, ESL for extended sick leave, WCS for workers' comp safety, WCN for workers' comp not paid, WCP for workers' comp paid, and WCR for workers' comp reduced. This tab is used exclusively by the workers' comp team.